Hello everyone, welcome back. Since my last video on FX rates AI agent, I've been getting requests, people asking questions about different components that build up an AI agent. So here is a slide that I've put together that shows you the different components that build an AI agent. Right? It starts with some of the components that are currently supported in the AI agent are the business objects, the deep links, the documents, external REST APIs, or optionally the emails. The business objects and the deep links are, as you can see, put in a separate box than the other three, because for the business objects and the deep links, you have separate screens to define them. Right? Business objects basically to invoke any of the REST APIs that you would want to use to build your agent. Right? It could be as simple as querying the details of an invoice, or let's say updating the invoice based on invoice details based on certain criteria. Right? Deep links, again, that supports the business object that you have used to define, or rather used to invoke the REST API, for example, of let's say querying the details of an AP invoice. Deep links, when configured on that business object, helps the users to navigate back to the application screen based on the deep link that is configured. Right? Document or documents are configured in the tools component to perform certain tasks that are very specific to, let's say, your customer's business. An example could be that the customer has asked you to build an AI agent to help the users query the expense policy of the customer's organization, for example. Right? So you take the expense policy of the customer. It could be a PDF, it could be any format. Load it into the tools and then run a process, a specific process to vectorize that document, and then you can build an agent just based on that document. When the users query the agent, or rather put prompts to that agent in the natural language, the agent looks up the details in the document and responds back to the user based on the query that the user has put. Right? Then the external REST service is a REST service that is exposed by, let's say, an external website. Right? It could be, let's say, for getting some details from an external website and making use of that in your agent. Right? Emails, currently this is supported for HCM and helps in defining certain alerts for HCM components. Right? As you can see here, there is nothing mandatory over here. However, you need at least one component, either the business object or deep links or any one of these three, to build up the a component called tools. Right? Once the tools are defined, based on the tools defined, you can then define an agent. It comprises, besides the component called tool or tools, it also has got a component called topic or topics. Now this is quite important when let's say you're trying to build an agent that performs complex tasks. You can define the topics by giving all the details that an agent has to perform, all the complex tasks in a step-by-step manner, so that the agent looks up for all the details in the topic, besides the additional details that you provide in the form of agent description, or let's say prompts that would be used to query the AI agent. Right? Based on the agent that you define, you then have to define agent team. An agent team is nothing but it comprises of a supervisor's agent and worker agents, right? Again, the supervisor agent, defining a supervisor agent is not mandatory, as you can see here. And based on the agents that you define in the earlier step, you can pull in those agents based on the business requirement into the agents team, right? It is the agents team that the users basically query and put the prompt to let the agent perform its tasks, right? So that's the set of components or objects that are defined to build an AI agent. Optionally, business objects, deep links, documents, REST service are put together in a tool. Then define an AI agent using all those tools based on the business requirement, and then use those agents or set of agents to define the agents team, and based on the supervisor, or let's say just the agent that you defined in the previous step. Thank you.